Hello, my friends. Hope everybody's having a relaxing weekend. It's a weekend. Over the weekend, I usually like to sleep a lot, recharge. I think this week has potential to change a lot of people's lives, guys. You saw open yesterday, just ripping face going vertical. And on top of that, these small caps have been really heating up. Remember, it's THAR. I mentioned that stock pre-market. And then it ended up just ripping face like over 350%. Usually when it comes to small cap, they pop and they drop, and that's pretty much it, right? But when a stock makes a big move up, it pull back, consolidate for an extended period of time, and then it rips towards power hour after hours. That's when it's like a signal where small caps are really starting to heat up, and you really want to pay attention to that, right? So if you're new to the channel, welcome, guys. I share trade ideas on stock Twitter every day, just trying to help people from pre-market to after hours. And on top of that, I make YouTube videos sharing potential stock ideas, as well as breaking down the analysis. And I also do the live stream for those that want it, where I say I added a stock in pre-market, usually if I like the news, right? And so these stocks are not in any order, and if you're busy, I recommend you watch the video in 2x speed, because these videos, it's a lot of information, guys. If you watch my previous videos, I made videos on Ixhl, NIL, NEO, I made videos on BMNR, and shortly after, they made really big moves up. So, I'm just trying to help people, right? So the first stock for this video would be Lase. This one, I made a video on the past, I believe, right? This stock is a 72.38 million market cap. This stock, I'm mentioning it because look at the technical setup. It's really starting to set up the MACD bullish. This stock actually Q2, looking at the fundamental side, Q2 2025 revenue exploded 317% year over year. Strategic acquisition angle as well. This stock sector diversification. I think, in my opinion, the laser cleaning market is expected to have over a $1 billion market in the future. So this stock actually, on top of that, I think shorts are kind of getting in a sticky situation here, because this stock, based on the previous price action, usually, I remember Lase usually pops and drops. That's the type of movement I see on this. But this stock is really starting to hold those key levels, and on top of that, it's creeping towards that big $5 psychological pivot, right? If you watch my videos, you know how I talk about when it comes to small cap, $1, $5, $10, really big levels, right? So this stock, you want to keep an eye on this stock, and I'm gonna be adding it to my watch list, right, as well for the coming week. So the next stock would be Osrh. This one actually has a small market cap, 11.12 million market cap. That's definitely on the smaller side. I posted this chart so you could see the range on this stock. It's a lot of range on this stock as well. And on top of that, I think it's a low floater, right? So this stock is a small cap working across US, Switzerland, and South Korea. This stock is developing immuno-oncology and biologics therapies and distributes neurovascular medical devices. So this stock, I'm mentioning it mainly because if you look at the chart, this stock actually had a gap, had a move up in the after hours, and then it started to consolidate, right? When it comes to these stocks, usually in after hours, after it makes consolidation, it usually gaps up based on what I've been seeing over the years, right? But it's not guaranteed. But what makes this stock interesting, right, is that they're planning to launch a $50 million security token offering under Regulation D. And there's other factors as well, such as the term sheet to acquire the South Korean firm developing non-invasive needle-free glucose monitoring technology. So this stock is very interesting because of the volume as well, right? So I'm going to be watching this stock definitely in the coming trading session, right? So next one, ETHZ. This used to be ATNF, right? So this stock, I mentioned that it was a potential swing trade idea, over $3 just yesterday. And this stock, after that, is starting to hold those levels. If you look at the left, if you look what happened left on the chart, this stock had a big move up, massive run. For 1,000% run from $1. It ran almost to $20, and now it made a big drop. It's dropped over 86%. I think it's close to 90% drop. So when a stock drops that much, it's usually a cap bounce setup. That means that the stock has potential to reach those previous high levels, right? They bounce off of it. It's just based on technicals. So this stock, if you look at the fundamental side, it's huge insider ownership. On top of that, Ethereum treasury strategy, if you've been noticing what's happening with Ethereum, BMNR, SBET, they've been really having nice action lately. I mentioned those as well. And this stock also backed by Polychain. So this stock is definitely a potential swing traded if it holds that $3 level. I really wanted to see that and then crawl over, right? So next stock would be THAR. This was the one I was talking about. This stock 21.88 million market cap. That's really not that big. I think shorts are underwater on this stock because remember this stock used to be $1, close to $1. And then the news they released, it wasn't really like crazy news in my opinion. It was more towards the side of fluff. So if you don't know what that means, fluff is pretty much when a small cap releases news that doesn't really sound, I mean, it's not really like good, right? It's not crazy good. So I think shorts got kind of like add, and then now they're kind of underwater. So usually when that happens, right? If a small cap releases good news, I think it was SBET, you could check. SBET, this was the same situation. It was just holding, made a move up, and then it was just consolidating, and then they released news pre-market, and that stock ripped like over $50 a share, or $100, you could check. And that was crazy. So this stock, I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. This stock is very interesting because it received good response from the FDA on its development path for opioid, right? And this stock actually also has licensing, collaboration, and partnership agreements with firms. So this stock, you want to keep an eye on this stock. Ideally, I want to see over $5 hold and then continue to trap this short type of action, right? I think this stock also has low float. What was it, like 2 million float, 3 million float? And that's right up my alley. I like those stocks with low float. The lower the better, right? So next one, the Wolf. This one, 3.59 billion market cap. This stock I mentioned in my YouTube video. You could check a couple days ago. I think it was close to $6 or $5. And it made a massive move up. Look at this chart. Now it's starting to go really popular. A lot of people are talking about Wolf, 3.59 billion market cap. So this stock actually, if you look at the fundamental side, it's really interesting because Google is actually acquiring an 8% to 14% equity stake through warrants and share transaction. So I said in my previous videos, when it comes to these stocks, right? If you're talking about Google, you're talking about Amazon, you're talking about Walmart. There's a lot of potential because these stocks I'm mentioning, they're not just random companies, right? And this stock has big growth potential as well. Not long ago, Wolf signed a 10-year hosting agreement with FluidStack amounting to $3.7 billion in contracted revenue. And in my opinion, with the possibility of raising up to $8.7 billion. So this stock, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it. Ideally, you want to see over $10 and then break that previous weight, that resistance, right? So the next one, HCTI. This one, someone on StockTwit yesterday recommended for me to analyze this stock. This stock, actually, I remember well. This used to be a super runner, actually. It made a massive move up. I mentioned this stock, and then it ran, I think, 300% after that. And this stock, if you look at the fundamental side as well, right? Cloud data science and AI-driven digital transformation service. So this stock is in a really bullish sector going forward, in my opinion, when it comes to AI and healthcare as well, right? So this stock, looking at technical side, it made a massive move up, and then now it's finally starting to drop. So this stock definitely has that cap bounce type of potential, right? This stock is down a lot. Look left, and also has an active acquisition angle. So this stock could have those type of news in the future. Ideally, I want to see the stock stop downtrending. I want to see it kind of hold those key levels. And this stock has that range, that potential range, right, to bounce. If you look at HCTI, you could go to the 4-hour chart. This stock made a big decline recently, and now it's finally starting to hold kind of base over. So ideally, I want to see over $3. Over that $3, I might consider this stock, right? So next stock would be BTAI. This one I mentioned again. I made a video on it previously, and then it just ended up popping off several dollars. This stock 79.73 million in market cap. Their product is FDA approved for treating acute agitation and schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. This is huge, guys. I'm telling you guys, when it comes to mental health, I said many times in my videos, I think it's unfortunately gonna get worse, right, over the years. I think this is a big topic of discussion, right, when it comes to mental problems, especially what's going on around the world, right? This stock actually have been having massive increasing analyst target. And if you look at the press releases recently, I'm talking within a few days ago, they're releasing constantly news after news after news. This stock received positive FDA, like I said earlier, right? So this stock actually, you really want to see if those key levels hold for a multi-day setup type of potential. And this stock is definitely on my radar. So next one will be Tilray. When it comes to these cannabis stocks, I said in the past, there's a lot of them that have potential. It's not just Tilray, but if you look at a CGC, Aurora, CGC, there's a lot more. So the reason I picked Tilray is honestly because, and based off my personal experience, I think out of all the cannabis stocks, I made the most on Tilray. Over the years I've been in stocks, right? I've been in stocks a long time, I think like many years. So this stock, looking at the technical setup, technical MACD alignment, and multi-day setup as well, the stock gross margins rose to 41%. So that's the fundamental side on the stock. And I think the estimation, right, the global cannabis market could reach up to $94 billion. And when it comes to cannabis, right, there's just so many there's just a lot of potential catalysts going forward in the future. The stock Tilray has been aggressively expanding into the beer and beverages space in the US cannabis, right? If you remember what I said in my previous video, remember I talked about Coca-Cola, right? That stock, I said the same thing, where they're starting to look into that type of cannabis infused product. And I think when it comes to the cannabis, like edible or infused product market, I think there's big potential as well, right? And this stock you really want to keep an eye on. This really starting to look nice, starting to perk on that technical chart. So next stock would be Holo, HOLO, 68.90 million market cap. This stock is down a lot, and this stock is down over 95% from its peak. Look at this chart I posted. It's crazy, guys. So I mentioned this stock potential range setup as well. I think this is a low float as well. Only 15 million float. That's not really high float. This stock invested up to $200 million in Bitcoin. So this stock, looking at the fundamental side, holographic tech, I think this stock has potential in the future in terms of the angle, right? This stock is also reporting net profit. So the reason I'm mentioning Holo, actually, I had a couple people reach out to me saying that they're really bullish on this stock. I mean, if you look at the stock, go to the hourly chart, you can start to see that it's finally starting to consolidate, curl over. That's exactly the price action you want to see after a big drop. You don't want to see a stock have a falling knife where it just keeps on making lower lows and then it keeps rejecting that previous support level, right? You really want to see a curling over type of action, which is what I'm seeing on Holo. So I'm going to be watching this stock definitely. And the volume really needs to increase as well, because the average volume compared to the volume it's been having is not really optimal in my opinion, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on this stock. So next one would be Vvpr, 61.18 million market cap. This stock plans to acquire $100 million in Ripple lab shares. So look, if you look at this stock, look at the extended time frame. This stock is actually starting to have that multi-day setup. If you remember what I said about that strategy, right? This stock is a former super runner. I remember this stock made a big move up in the past. So when it comes to stock personalities, these stocks that tend to have big moves up, they often repeat, right? And if you look at the NASDAQ options market, this stock actually started offering options since recently. It was just a couple of weeks ago, which means more potential, right? When it comes to not just volume, but other angles as well. And I've been noticing a lot of increase in institution side as well, right, on the stock. You really want to keep an eye on the stock, Vvpr. So next one will be Htz Hcti. This one very, very interesting setup, 1.81 billion market cap. The reason I say very, very interesting is because it kind of reminds me of that type of open type of situation, right? So this stock Htz has been recently partnered with Amazon Autos. If you remember what I said earlier, right? When it comes to Google, Amazon, Tesla, Walmart, Nvidia, really, really important. You want to remember that, guys, when it comes to those companies and the connections. This stock actually has a low valuation, big upside potential, turnaround strategy, in my opinion. So when it comes to the tariff situation, right, I think this stock has that angle in terms of economic potential, where the increase in the new car prices, right, I think there's going to be demand for these type of used vehicle inventory. So Htz, you really want to keep an eye on. I've been noticing the volume has been really picking up on Htz. And if you check the hourly setup on Htz as well, this stock is actually starting to look really nice technical wise. Look at this this 4-hour chart on Htz. This stock is starting to slowly cup and curl over, right? So I'm recommending you guys definitely keep a close eye on this stock, Htz. So next one will be Poet, POET, 484.4 45 million market cap. This stock, I don't think I made a video on, so this will be the first video I'm making on it. So this stock actually received a lot of awards. The Lightwave Award, AI Innovator of the Year, Best in AI. This stock, very, very interesting. Low depth as well, and institutions increase as well. So POET, this stock, I think in the future, this is another situation, like I said earlier, Lase. I think it has potential in the future, right? When it comes to optical interconnects and the integration to power AI and data infrastructure. So the reason the stock I'm mentioning, and not just that, those reasons, but also technical wise. If you go to Poe's chart again, when I say stocks, I don't just usually do technical. I don't usually just do one side. For example, just talk about the fundamental, such as the news or the fundamental side, like the economical data. I also like to do the technical. I think that's really key when it comes to stock. You can't just have one angle. You want to have more than one, right? More than one side. So the reason, look at the technical chart, it's really starting to go over that previous levels that needed to clear out. And I really want to see over $5 for the stock, $5, and then over $5, go towards 6, right? The stock is finally starting to curl over in that uptrend movement that I want to see. So next up will be IXHL. This was the play yesterday. It just ended up just ripping face pre-market. I think it ripped like 45% in pre-market. It was a really clean move as well. It just kept going up and up and up. This stock yesterday, the reason it went up that much, authorized a 20 million share repurchase program, which is massive. In my opinion, it's massive. Because this stock is already low market cap. You can look at the market cap data. And this stock, you made many videos on in the past. You could check, if you're new to the channel, check out my previous videos. I made just 2 days ago, or so a day ago, and then they released news. It's crazy, right? This stock, short squeeze angle as well. Big range on this stock. And the reason I mentioned this stock again is because it has multiple catalysts coming for it as well. So IHL42X, their top clinical candidate for obstructive sleep apnea, achieved great outcomes in phase 2, up to 83% reduction, right, in AHI for high dose patients and 79% for low dose. So this stock, ideally, I mentioned to the team on the live chat that I want to see that channel clear out. So I said in the daytime, I told the team that it was, in my opinion, going to just channel all day, and that's exactly what happened. You could look at yourself. Go to the 5-minute chart. The stock was just channeling all day, just like going sideways. And I think once that 60-cent level clears, that 60-cent level, over that level is going to start to break out, right? And in terms of support, you really want to see ideally 50-cent hold. But if that 50-cent cracks, it still does not mean it's dead, in my opinion. Definitely, this stock has low float as well, low market cap, low float, right sector, with on top of that, it has catalysts coming for it. So I think shorts really need to be careful, right, when it comes to the stock, because I've been seeing a lot of bears on this stock as well, right? So you could get, there's potential for a squeeze as well, right? So next stock will be Open, 3.69 billion market cap. This is the most popular stock. I said many video guys over and over. I think this stock, this is the most popular, like, this type of stock. And this stock actually, it really surprised me because the price action on the stock yesterday was just astronomical. This was the #1 traded stock. And if you look at the volume, it's just absurd. It's crazy volume. And if you go to the extended time frame on Open, go to the 30-minute chart. Just look at the strength on this stock. Every time the stock had a little amount of red on the tape, it just pushed over, pushed over, reclaim, make new highs. So this stock, if it holds that $5 level, which I think it will definitely hold that 5 level. But if it holds that 5 level, you're gonna have to expect continuation, in my opinion, right? This stock is an attractive price point as well. It's not a $50 stock, such as, the reason I'm mentioning price point, it really comes down to psychology when it comes to trading, when it comes to stock or investing, in my opinion, which is why these stocks tend to often do these splits, right? For example, remember AMC, I mentioned that stock during that crazy time period when it was trading at, I think it was like $2, $3, and then it just went berserk. I think it went crazy towards $100, right? So $5 really isn't an expensive price, in my opinion, when it comes to these type of stocks, right? This is a very strong community behind it as well. The reason I say that is because stocks are not just candlesticks, right? There's people behind these movements, and there's people that also really push the bullish movement on this stock. This stock is offering convenient solution for homeowners, and that's the real estate transaction angle behind it. I made many more bullish factors on the stock. You can check out my previous videos on it, but I didn't want to repeat the factors, which is why I didn't put them in the video today, right? But this stock, I think, in my opinion, has future potential as well. When you're talking about stocks, you really want to look at future as well. Not just think about the current month or the current per day price action, right? You really want to think about future. So I think the housing market strength as well is going to lead a lot of flow into open. And if you're holding this stock, guys, what's your price target? I'm genuinely curious. What's your plan? What's your price target? And if you have more news, drop down in the comments, guys. Not just on open, but any stock as well, because a lot of people read my posts, and it's going to help everybody, guys. And it's going to also spread more awareness. It's probably going to also increase the volume as well, right? In my opinion. So last stock, guys, GNS. This stock, very, very popular stock as well. Similar to open, this stock was a very, very crazy movement. In the past, I made a video at 50-cent area. You could check, it was like 49 cents. And then after that, it just went crazy. It went towards $2 a share. And right now, look at this extended time chart. It's just really looking beautiful. Like, it's just coiling. It's looking really tight. And the reason I mentioned the technicals is because when it comes to stock, you can't just use the fundamental side, right? A lot of times I see people on StockTwit or Twitter where they really bullish on a stock. They're really posting. They're saying a stock is going to go up, saying about the catalyst. But I think, in my opinion, you also have to have a technical back end as well, right? Which causes a much bigger move up, similar to open. You could check that stock. The technicals was really beautiful on that stock, which I mentioned on my previous video as well, right? So this stock technical is looking really nice. On top of that, this stock also is just like IXHL, has had that buyback angle as well. The reason I'm mentioning that is because when these type of stocks have buybacks, it makes really big pushes, right? This stock is in the AI education and Bitcoin angle. Again, both very bullish future, in my opinion. And I said previously that you really want to look at the future, not just the current time period. The thing that's really interesting is that GNS is also pursuing dual listing on the Asian stock exchange. So if you combine those factors, it's really, really bullish because China is making AI education mandatory, actually, across their schools in Beijing starting this fall. So that's like very close. On top of that, AI education is not just Asia. We're talking all around the world, AI. And education is really going to ramp up. And this stock name is actually pretty interesting because it's called Genius, right? I think the CEO and the company is really smart, what they're doing, what they're trying to do. And that's just speaking about the AI education angle. There's also a massive squeeze angle, like the naked situation, right? The naked short situation. Mr. Christian is going to provide everybody with information on the market manipulation case on the X Spaces call. This is this week, guys. So write it down on your calendar. Remember, if you're bullish on GNS, or even if you're not in GNS, like open people, a lot of people that are watching this video are probably really bullish on open. Keep an eye on GNS, guys. It's in a really similar type of we could see a nice move on GNS in the coming future as well, right? Because this stock also has that really big community behind it, similar to open, similar to all these previous stocks that I mentioned in the video, right? So this stock, technical wise, is looking really good. Fundamental wise, there's catalysts coming for it. It's in a bullish sector. It has a good CEO, in my opinion, and it also has smart team behind it, such as Mr. Christian and Kevin Malone, as well as I think the shareholders, just based on what I've been seeing online, are smart as well. So I hope that there's some really good information coming this week, and I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on what comes out for GNS. And if you appreciated the video, guys, I appreciate a like and a comment. It takes like a second. it really helps grow the community so I can help more people, right? This community is growing really fast. I'm over 5,000 just on YouTube, and it's just gonna grow in my opinion. So guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys on this Saturday. Again, like I said, I love recharging, I like sleeping, I like eating more. And just this week, I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be crazy, guys. It's gonna be fun. So let's get ready, guys. Stockcatcher signing out, guys. Have a blessed weekend. I'll see you on Monday morning. Good night.